Oh, you got the whole box? Dude. I'm actually...
in, everybody.
I'm a sophisticated drinker today.
Oh, out here. Wine lands today, huh?
Pinky out.
I'll join you.
Well, I'm a little sick, so I figure wine might be a tiny bit better for me than beer. So that's my
natural
rationale.
remedy.
It's my rationale, and I'm sticking to it.
All right.
But
you have my full support.
We have, this is attempt number 2 at recording the audio podcast, so hopefully this will be uploaded. We're doing it all in one take. Video will be on YouTube. We'll put all the drinking rules in the descriptions so you can play along at home if you like. Basically,
grab
a beer, maybe some wine. This is Italian's finest via the Bellardo wedding.
Maybe a little mixed drink, whatever floats your boat.
Ooh, that could get wild, yeah. And let's talk some soccer. That's what we do every week. So let's get to it. What transfer window closed. We didn't have any games last week as far as Premier League goes, except the FA Cup. We're going to skip over that and we'll go straight to transfer because there are a ton of transfers to get through. So I listed a bunch of them in no particular order. What do you think is the biggest transfer, and which one do you think we should start with?
Well, it was a very active end to the transfer window, which was obviously very exciting to see what was going on. Lots of rumors floating around, lots of deals that sounded like they were done, and they weren't done, and they were done again, and they weren't done again. I think we got to start with one of the last deals I went through, which was Enzo Fernandez, simply because of the amounts that we're talking about here. So we once again crossed the 100 million euro threshold with a player. So I think that's got to take the cake as the biggest news of the transfer window.
For sure. Enzo Fernandez, the young player of the World Cup, Argentina world champion, went from Porto to Chelsea. I saw it as 1.6.8 or 106.8 million euros, which is insane. What is he, 21? Yeah. He's 21, I believe.
Yeah, to be eligible for that World Cup award, you have to be, I think, 21 or younger at the tournament. So, not the oldest. He could have maybe turned 22 since then, but he's definitely really young.
So here's my question to you. Say Argentina loses that game against the Netherlands in what was that, the quarterfinals?
Yeah.
Do you think Enzo Fernandez gets this deal or anything close to it?
It's funny you say that. I feel like I don't think he goes for as much money. I think he still gets a lot of suitors out of the World Cup. You know, he made enough of an impact, before winning it all. But I think we're talking about him just as much as like Chouamani or something, right? Some of these other guys, if they had won and made it all the way, he wouldn't be standing out from the crowd, you could say, for the young players out there. So I would maybe call it I'll call it maybe a 15% tax.
A World Cup tax?
The team was going to pay. World Cup tax that you're going to pay.
Yeah.
I'd be really curious to know what that is. What is that markup number? What is that number that changed?
I bet you it's a 50% inflation.
You think 50%? I mean,
he's got 107 million euros.
I'm not talking what he's really worth. I'm just saying everyone's overpriced and marked out. It's a seller's market, I feel like.
Well, only if you're in the Premier League.
Well, yeah, if you're selling to the Premier League.
Actually, let's segue to that real quick because I think this is important to notice the landscape before we dive into the individuals outside of Enzo. So, the Premier League spent 800 million euros in this transfer window. All other leagues combined, which is in Europe, so
the main
Bundesliga, Serie A, La Liga, Ligue 1, they spent a combined 200 million. Chelsea alone,
Damn.
Chelsea alone spent 300 million. Just wrap your head around that for a second.
That's so much money floating around.
All those
and you know
other
what's funny
leagues
is
are not spending any money. If anything, all their players are being plucked to the Premier League, and all of the spending is in the Premier League. And we had that article that we both read separately, which is hilarious, of the president of La Liga basically complaining about the Premier League doped market, is the quote he had, where they're sending up all this inflation. And then I thought it was hilarious that he said, we are trying to build financially stable teams here and all that. It's like, isn't Barcelona like your flagship team in debt? So like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're full of shit.
I know that. And then I it's my fucking favorite argument to hear all that shit. And it's like, you know, it takes somebody selling for a transfer to happen, right? Yeah. So it's like you should be just as mad at every team that's taking one of these deals in La Liga as the teams that are buying the players out of La Liga. They're 50% culpable.
Yeah, and then this is also kind of their angle of, hey, this is why we need this Super League to make sure these other teams, basically our teams, are still relevant. And it's like, why don't you just start competing with the other teams and start spending?
Yeah.
Oh, that's because you're in debt because you had horrible financial decisions.
Yeah, because you should not be the one talking about anything financial.
Yeah, it's just a joke. It's such a it's so sour grapes. It's like he sounds like such a loser. Like, not that I mean that he lost, and now he's just bitching about it and trying to be like, oh well, we should do the Super League now. It's like, what? So you can get like a participation trophy and so you can get more income? Like, by all accounts, you don't deserve it.
So. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's new owners coming in. There's new money flooding in even more than there has been in the past. So I mean, the market's changing every transfer window. It's getting more and more crazy. But like I said, I mean, they're just as culpable with the shit they've done in the past. The shady shit they've done, the not smart financial stuff many teams in the league have done. The way they haven't developed the league as well as the Premier League has, whether that's through TV deals or whatever. It's just, you dug your own grave. If this is what you're upset about, I mean, you have just as much a part of this as anybody in the Premier League. So go cry a river.
Yeah, exactly.
I did want to say, it's funny. So you mentioned Chelsea spent alone $300 million in the window. If you remember last week, we were talking about Everton going up for sale for $500 million. Chelsea literally spent half of the value of Everton on transfers. It's absolutely mind-boggling.
Dude, and Everton's value might have dropped more. They're just such a dumpster fire. They didn't sign anybody. They sold all their assets. I don't know if they're trying to like clear their books and be like, hey, we have no debt on the table or what. But that team's going to get relegated, and then you're in real trouble. Like,
so they got rid of So one of the other transfers, right? They got rid of Anthony Gordon, who was probably their single most valuable asset, probably their most expensive player, biggest trade chip, biggest transfer chip. Wanted out for a while now. It seems like potentially was going to go to London, ended up going to Newcastle. But yeah, I mean, you lose a player like that. He was one of the guys that was the key to them finding a way to scrape by last season, in the last 10 games of the season and actually survive. And now you're getting rid of one of the remaining few pieces there that's able to give you some sort of upside as it comes down the home stretch of the season to stay up. It really seems like self-destruct mode.
Dude,
I don't know what else you can say.
I don't understand it at all. And if you look, they're 19th in the table, so they're in the relegation zone. They're tied with Southampton with 15 points. But Southampton made moves. Like, they tried to get better. Bournemouth tried to get better. Everton actively got worse. And the fans are up in arms, apparently, as I would be if I were their fan. And I can't see the team getting out of relegation. So I don't understand what they're thinking.
Tough league, man. These teams like Nottingham Forest already spent a shitload of money, continues to spend in this transfer window. Like, there's nobody else that's like throwing in the towel like Everton is.
No.
So they can't have any expectations.
Well, you got to know also
around.
that if you stay up, you're going to make more money. If you go down, you're not going to make as much money. Your team's not going to, your franchise isn't going to be valued the same amount.
Oh yeah, if you're trying to, or especially if you're trying to sell the team.
Exactly.
Like, it's like, what are you doing? It's like you invest in this asset. So imagine like you invest in whatever, a nice sports car, right? You know, I don't know when this guy bought the club, but whatever. Say you bought it 5 years ago, and you know for the first 4 years, you take really good care of it. You get it new tires, oil change, you know, tune up, do everything to keep good care of it. And then you're like, I'm going to go sell this. After 5 years, I'm going to sell this car. But then in the 5th year, you start treating it like shit. And you're like, this car was pristine coming into year 5. Now you're not getting it tuned up, not giving it car washes, driving in the dirt and not washing it off, parking it next to the ocean, getting all rusted out. And then you go to sell it after you had years of taking good care of it and then just letting it go to shit. And then you're like, oh, why can't I get it for, you know, this value that it says it should be? It's like, what are you doing?
Perfect analogy.
Take care of your assets. Like, this isn't smart business. I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but
it amazes me that these people that own teams that have been successful in business to have enough money to purchase any of these teams would be so stupid and make such idiotic decisions. It blows my mind. And while you were making that analogy, I was late on the transfer news and updates segue banner, so I took a drink for technical difficulties because that qualifies.
Technical difficulty, drink, everyone. We also don't have our drink counters up, but oh well.
Yeah. Well, I can't do both. There's just not enough room.
Oh, okay. Not enough room. We'll get there one day.
Yeah.
I did want to say before we move on from Enzo, so per at least, I don't know the final official number, but at least per the number that I see here, for total value of the transfer, he is the 6th most expensive transfer ever.
Do you have the top 5?
Can you name the 5 people ahead of him?
Was Cristiano on there?
He is not.
Really? Was he a free agent when he went from Man United to Real Madrid?
No, he went for Ronaldo's most expensive transfer was from Madrid to Juventus.
Ah. Okay. Yeah, the prices keep going up, huh? So it's probably not going to be that long ago. So I know João Felix was a big one.
He is one of the ones ahead of him. He's number 5.
Okay. Let's see who else. Messi to PSG wasn't a big one, was it? Yeah.
No, that was cheap. I would say one of these absolutely did not pan out. One of them still probably an open question, but way too expensive. 2 of them probably worth the money. Debatable, but like they're good players. So
it's a bunch of young kids that just got fat contracts, huh? Who is it? All on potential.
All right. Well, number one's Neymar.
Okay.
At $100 million more than what Enzo just went for.
That's
100 million euros more.
That's insane.
Yeah. Mbappe at 180 million. Dembele to Barcelona from Borussia Dortmund for 140.
Wow.
And then Coutinho to Barcelona for 135.
He was good in a short amount of time.
I don't think he was ever as good. He wasn't $135 million good at Barcelona. He was that good at times at Liverpool. But
fair. Yeah, that's.
I don't think he ever was that at Barcelona.
That's correct. And Dembele, oof.
An honorable mention, he just edges out your boy Griezmann by €1 million.
Who?
Oh, Fernandes. Sorry.
Oh.
Griezmann's at number 7. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of other transfers that went down. So what was, talking about Enzo first? We mentioned the Gordon one, but what sticks out to you as your next biggest move of the window?
Yeah. Well, we already hit on the Gakpo, Weghorst, and João Felix move because they kind of already happened earlier in the window.
Did we talk about Mudryk too?
We did talk about Mudryk, and I was really sad he went to Chelsea. I think that is going to be their best signing, in my opinion. I have like soccer love for him. I think he's a stud.
I think he was the second most expensive after Enzo, I think, of the window.
I think he's going to be worth it, and I think Chelsea needs him really badly. So my favorite is Weston McKennie from Juve to Leeds. Drink on that one.
Hell yeah.
I'll drink to that.
Cheers, baby.
American,
go
baby.
Weston.
Team America in the Premier League. So I am stoked on that. Really pissed he's not available in fantasy. That was devastating. Get with it, Premier League app. You're fucking horrible. But the one that surprised me, or not surprised me, but the one I really liked that I thought made sense is Sabitzer to Man U.
Oh, yeah. I did not. I hadn't heard about this one.
Dude,
that's a great move.
I
like that a lot.
Because of the Eriksen injury, they had to get a midfield replacement. They got Sabitzer. He's a stud. I feel like he would fit in with that Man United team excellently.
Yeah. That's a savvy pickup, I feel like.
So they loaned him. It wasn't a transfer. But, I mean, what a midfielder to just add to your team after losing Eriksen.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you got like Eriksen, like Casemiro, and like those type of guys that are kind of just like class, like they're just like reliable and smooth on the ball. Like that's a great person to add to the squad. I hadn't seen that move at all, so I'm stoked on that.
Yeah, isn't that cool? So I saw that today, and like some dumbass English pundit was like, I don't think it was Carragher. I can't remember who it was, but they were like dogging it like, why would you pick up someone who can't even start for their own team? It's like, dude, it's fucking Bayern.
And he's on a team that's playing better than your team.
Yeah, exactly. His team's better than your team. Like, what? Like, how have you not seen this guy play? He's a stud. Like, he's a great midfielder. This is a great signing. How are you such a hater? English people are such haters, man.
They are. Anybody that's not English, man.
So, yeah, I really liked that one. I thought that was a really, really good pickup.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. Yeah, I think it's, especially with, like you said, Eriksen going down. I didn't realize he was down for an extended period like he is, so definitely good insurance to have there.
I just saw the news. Sucks. Because he's been playing well, too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I think probably some of the biggest drama of the transfer window we'll talk about next. So that was the soap opera between Pep Guardiola and João Cancelo, which ended up with Cancelo asking out and heading out on a loan to Bayern with an option to buy for $62 million at the end of the loan if they choose to. So potentially all the way out, not just part way out. So a lot of drama there. A really good player. Wasn't playing as much as he thought he should. In particular, the game against Arsenal, he was really upset that he wasn't starting that game, I think. And kind of just, that was it. That was the straw that broke the camel's back, and he really wanted out of Pep's life. So I don't know. I'm happy for him to go somewhere new if he feels like he needs to play more. He's such a good player. I can't imagine ever finding a way where I could agree to let him go. off my team. But big news, I think, and definitely a win for Bayern to pick up a player like that.
Absolutely. I don't know. That's the one thing we'll never fully understand, not being in the team or in the locker room, is like, how does this happen? How does it get to this point? You know what I mean? And it just sucks that if you're a part of that team, you're like, dude, we're trying to win a title. We have a team that could win anywhere. Could win Champions League, could win the Premier League. Like, it just blows my mind that he's just going to be so upset that he doesn't want to play, or he asks out of a team like that. Like, I don't get it.
True, yeah. To be in that position, you're on the favorite to win the Champions League, right?
Yeah.
It's like how do you? I mean, I guess you're going to a team like Bayern, okay, but still, like, you're never gonna have a better chance to win than the team you're on. Shit has to be really fucking bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what happened? Maybe a story will come out later, explaining why, but that's just one thing we'll never understand from the outside looking in, and it just makes no sense.
Yeah, that was. I mean, yeah, that what I read, you know, they said that Arsenal game was basically it. That was like the moment where he was like, "I'm done, I'm out." So there definitely had to have been more before that.
Yeah, I don't think Man City added many players of relevance, like a starter. Not that I saw. So, and they lost Zinchenko, who was a good left back. So who?
Yeah, and Cancelo could play everywhere. I mean, it's. I mean, the reality is, Pep probably favors, like, in the most important, intense games, he probably would choose Kyle Walker over him. You know, and I think he knows that. He knows he's the second choice right back. He could play in other places, but that's probably always been sort of lingering and hanging over him. That when he really has to trust somebody, he's going to choose Kyle Walker. He's not going to choose Cancelo.
Who did he play on the other side last time out?
They've been playing that young guy for a while. What's his name? Lewis. I forget who was last time out. Let me check.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, it must be getting bad. I feel like if everyone's happy, Cancelo's starting, I think. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, so last time out, they played 3 center backs at the back. They played Stone, Akanji, and Laporte. So they kind of played like a 3-5.
Yeah.
Played like a 3-6-1, basically. 3-2-4-1. Yeah, so Lewis is that young kid that they've been kind of playing, and he can swing over to the left wing side. Been seeing that a lot, which it's just weird. It's like, I just couldn't imagine, like, how you get to that point where you're Pep Guardiola and you're choosing, you know, whatever this kid is, 20-year-old kid over João Cancelo.
I know, it's crazy. Like, what happened? There's got to be more. There's got to be more to the story.
Yeah, and I didn't realize this. So against Tottenham, they actually started 4 at the back, but they put Ake at left back, and they put the Lewis kid at right back.
Yeah, it's definitely
pretty wild. So Kyle Walker and João Cancelo both on the bench, and then he subbed in Kyle Walker. So João Cancelo didn't even see the field in that game. So there's something brewing and something that was going on. I think, for a while there.
Something's been festering. All right, the next one I want to talk about is caught me by surprise. Chelsea was buying. I think they made 8 acquisitions. So you bring in that many people, someone's got to go. But I was surprised Jorginho was the one to go. He went to Arsenal for $12 million or euros. Did you know that? Did you hear that one?
I knew there was rumors about it. I wasn't sure if it was official.
Yeah. And I'm not the biggest Jorginho fan. I think you know this.
Yeah.
But that's a good pickup for Arsenal.
I think it's the right type of player for what they got going on. Kind of an older guy that could bring some veteran presence.
But I did like how their midfield is playing. I don't think he
I
takes
don't expect him
anyone's
to
spot.
play. Oh yeah, I don't expect him to play.
But if
I
there's an
expect him to be
injury,
like,
or
yeah,
there's 3 games in a week or something crazy which they're doing, that like it's
yeah.
nice to have him.
Or a guy to bring in, in the 65th minute, and he could take a late penalty if you need it. Like,
Yeah,
a guy that's confident taking penalties is probably worth more money than we think about, a lot of times.
for sure. I hate how he takes them, but he makes them,
Yeah,
and that's all that matters.
he makes them, yeah.
Yeah. So
it's good. Definitely a really good piece to have.
I like that pickup for Arsenal. I think that's a W for them.
Yeah.
And then let's see who else is left on the list here.
So tell me about this Pedro Porro move. I don't know much about this guy at all. Do you know much about him?
No, not at all.
Okay.
But
yeah, so
all I know is
went
he
from
was on Sporting and he went to Tottenham. But that's it. We'll see how he is. And then I saw Tottenham. So Tottenham, what they did is they brought him in. What was their other one they acquired? I think it was a young kid who's also a defender. But then did you see they let Doherty go for free?
Yeah, well, did you? Yeah, I heard about it, and I looked into it. So what happened? I don't know if you read into it at all, but so there's a rule. I don't know if this is a UEFA rule or a Premier League rule, but you're not allowed to have more than 8 players on loan internationally.
Yeah.
Okay, so
they were at their limit. Yeah. But
yeah,
still, instead of re-signing him or even keeping him, they were like, "We're good. You can go." They still could have signed him. They still could have kept him on the team.
Yeah, I guess they could have kept him instead of like just saying bye. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we're trying to win or get into to the Euro. Yeah, we don't need you. And the same thing with what's that guy's name? Brian Gill? No, what's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about?
They loaned him to Sevilla. They're like,
yeah,
hey, we're trying to win, but you can't really help us this year. Maybe when you're better.
Yeah, he's got a lot more potential.
Yeah, go get some run in Sevilla. So I thought that was interesting. And then Trossard, we already talked about previously, going to Arsenal.
Yeah.
So great pick of it. I didn't know this, but Memphis Depay went to Atletico Madrid from Barcelona.
Yeah, no, I was watching a game last week, and I saw him on the field. I forget what it was. I think it was like the Copa del Rey or something. And I was like, wait, I did one of these. I was like, was that Depay?
Yeah.
But he was on the field playing. I was like, what the hell?
Dude, it's a $3 million transfer. It's like, that's pennies in the Premier League.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What a grab by Atletico. I think that's a great pickup.
Yeah, just swoop him away, yeah. There was a lot of rumors about him going to Juventus, I remember, and I guess that fell through.
Yeah, so Atletico got Doherty for free.
Yeah.
Depay for cheap. And then they sold a guy, Felipe, who I'm not familiar with, to Nottingham Forest. And then who was the other one? There was another one I saw that they sold somewhere. Forget now. But anyway, some nice quiet moves by Atletico.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they already got rid of João Felix or loaned him out.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah, kind of. I like it, mixing things up a bit.
Yeah, I like it too.
Get some new vibes there.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, so a few other moves that went down. So we had on the smaller scale side. So we had shout out Jonjo Shelvey sighting.
Love Jonjo Shelvey.
Loan from Newcastle and Nottingham Forest. Keylor Navas. I like this move.
Yes.
PSG to Nottingham Forest.
Yes. Dude, I grouped the Nottingham Forest ones together because I was like, yes, dude, they are going for it. Everton, take notes.
making moves, man.
It's pretty
So
sick.
I like, yeah, exactly. They're doing exactly what they should be doing, and the opposite of what Everton's doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Everton just sold. Oh, we got to mention that because that was actually an expensive sell. 40
Yeah,
million euro transfer for Anthony Gordon from Everton to Newcastle. It's a lot of money. The younger you are, the more money the transfer is because of the potential, I guess.
yeah,
He's not a $40 million player now. Maybe he will be, but
yeah.
like
It's a lot of money.
he's a nice player. He's a nice young player. I don't see him being a or getting that transfer ever again. That
Well, yeah, and I don't see him taking anybody's spot. That's been They've been playing so well together.
hmm.
Like, I don't see him as being anything more than a sub off the bench. Like, which is crazy. So when a club gets to
Would
a
he
level
take
like that,
Joe Ellington's spot? Is that where he would play?
that's what I'm saying, and that's like I wouldn't do that because Joe Ellington brings so much, like him and Bruno Guimaraes bring so much like strength and power to that midfield. Like that's why they're so good so far this year. Like they're just dominating midfields, and I mean Gordon might have more skill and be a better offensive player, but I wouldn't make that change. I wouldn't change my approach and strategy like that. I would keep that type of player in there.
Yeah.
So who's he going to take a spot from? Almiron? You know, like
Dude, he's got
Ishak.
nine goals in the league, dude. He's top five
They
in
just
scoring.
spent 60 million on Ishak. Like who are they? Like I just don't see where he fits into the equation as a starter. So, but it tells you a lot when a club like Newcastle, who forever has been very cheap, and obviously with the new owners is willing to spend now, starts spending something like $40 million on a player that might not start. That tells you you're in a new tier as a club. It's pretty crazy.
It could be a couple things. It could be, like you said, they're planning ahead. They're planning for longevity to be good. It also could be, if this happened, I think it would be really smart. Unclear if it ever did happen, but if they were like, hey guys, Everton is a shit show right now. They're having a fire sale. Let's see what we can get. Maybe we could snag their best asset for cheap. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, in a different market, maybe he would have gone for 50 or 60 or something, right?
Well, most teams wouldn't have sold him. So, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, most teams wouldn't be in a position to sell him.
So
I think it was funny. I read somewhere too. So and it was like it was some comment. I forget where. Probably on Reddit, but it was some comment that was like, in the ultimate Everton irony, as always, Anthony Gordon was the person on the Everton calendar for February. So like they set up the team calendar. Seriously, the day after they sell him, he's the next month's picture on the calendar. It was just like the ultimate Everton move.
Oh my gosh, that is like if that was in a movie, I wouldn't believe it. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. It's terrible storytelling. No way that would happen.
No way that's real.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, I also wanted to point out on the transfers is the other relegation potential. Southampton, they made some moves too to improve their team.
Yeah.
Two guys I don't know, but I'm intrigued to see him play. So they got this guy, Paul Onuachu from Genk. I probably butchered that pronunciation, but who cares? I'm American.
Count it.
16 million pound transfer, or pound, euros. He's a 6'7" forward from Nigeria.
I like it.
I have not seen him play, but I want to see a 6'7" dude play. I guess he's been scoring well in the Belgian league, so I want to see him
Peter
play.
Crouch out there, 2.0.
Yeah, and then they got another dude from the French league, who's a 20-year-old Ghanaian, Kamaldeen Sulemana. Haven't seen him play. Want to see it, but I just love that they are trying to get better. They got some young talent here. They spent, what is that, 38 million euros on those two players alone. Like, let's go. Let's make a run.
Yeah, no, big moves. Not what you would expect from a team like that, right? So it's really, really cool and exciting to see when a team like that's like at or near the bottom is spending like that. It's really, really exciting.
They are the bottom. Season. They're the last team. They're the last.
I know, but it's going to be it's going to make like every game from here on out that much more exciting with all these new players, teams with new hope. It's just I love it. It's going to make it all so much better.
Okay. Okay, moving forward, we did Nottingham Forest. We had Southampton. We talked about kind of the bigger ones, some smaller ones. Bournemouth added a defender, so that was $20 million, or I keep saying dollar, euro transfer from Dynamo Kiev. So they're trying to solidify their defense. He's a young defender as well. I think he's like 21 years old, something like that. So they are trying to get out of relegation. Let's see, what are other star ones to call out? Oh, here we go. John Brooks, baby. Drink. Sold from Benfica to Hoffenheim. Let's go. Let's go.
I think that he was there before. I think he's kind of going home. I think, right?
Was he there before? I don't even remember. He might not have been on my radar at that time.
Hey Brooks, the one and only. Oh no, he was on Hertha. That was it.
Okay.
I was thinking of Hertha, but both start with H. My bad.
It's all good. And then, do you remember that guy Unani from the World Cup, the Moroccan player?
Yeah.
He got a transfer to Marseille.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah. So that was a little showcase he got in the World Cup, and some other guys liked him too. Marseille brought him in.
What was the World Cup tax they paid then?
$9 million, only $9 million.
Oh, okay. So he's probably be $5 normally. All right.
Yeah. So, but fantastic. He might not even been transferred at all. You know.
True.
They would never know that guy was there.
Could still be Morocco, you know.
I don't know who's locking in and watching Morocco play all the time, but a couple of other ones I thought were funny that I wanted to call out. Aaron Ramsey went to Middlesbrough, who's not in the Premier League, but I love that. Like, hey, let's get this guy. He can help us get through the last of this season, this veteran, to help us bump us up into the Premier League. I love that pick.
Where was he playing?
I guess Aston Villa, but he definitely hasn't been on the field.
Really? I didn't know that. That's funny.
Unless I was looking at something weird, yeah.
Oh, he was playing for Nice.
Oh, it told me that Villa sold him. Maybe they had... I don't know.
That's weird, yeah.
But that makes more sense. Anyways, he's on Middlesbrough now.
Nice.
And then...
Nice.
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 Nice. Another one is Diogo Montero is a defender, and I think he's young. I don't know if he'll crack the lineup, but he went to Leeds, and the fact that Leeds got defensive help makes me happy. Potential defensive help.
Diego Montero, 18 years old.
18, yeah, he's a young kid. But he probably won't see the field, but smart. You guys need help on defense.
Interesting. So he's born in Switzerland but represents Portugal internationally. Okay.
Oh, that is interesting. And then
he's got a very Portuguese name, but yeah.
All right, I'm going to rapid fire a couple here. Tete from Shakhtar to Leicester. Like that. And then Leicester also released is the wrong terminology, but Mark Albrighton. I think they let him go on a loan, so he'll probably swoop in there, take that spot.
Oh yeah, where did shout out Mark Albrighton? Where'd he go?
I don't remember.
He went to West Brom in the Championship.
There you go. Yeah. And
damn. Shout him out, man.
You're a Mark Albrighton fan?
For,
I'll drink to Mark Albrighton.
He was there 9 years. Yeah, 9 years on Leicester.
He worked hard.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then the other one that I thought that was funny was a player I hadn't heard of, and I can't really pronounce his name, Ahamada. But he's a young French midfielder, and he went from Stuttgart to Crystal Palace for 10 million euros. As Crystal Palace loves their French middies.
Nauri.
Yeah, how do you say that? I have no idea. Dude, it's like 8 vowels in a row. Old.
Damn. Yeah, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, there's an R in there, yeah.
There's 7 vowels in his name or something. Okay.
I have a 10-letter name with 2 consonants.
Good luck. Yeah. That's great.
So those are kind of all the transfers I think that jumped out to me. There were some other ones, but those are probably the most. I heard this story on the Alexi Lawless podcast. Which is a good podcast. I recommend it to all you out there. But so Ziyech was supposed to go to PSG, and he was all pumped on going. They flew him out there. He was in Paris, going to play with his buddy Hakimi, going to be on PSG. And I guess Chelsea screwed up the paperwork. And there was some sort of mistake on it or something or other. So they had to resubmit the paperwork, but it was after the deadline. So he
I've heard this story many times before.
So this either is a really effed up move or a really incompetent one or the other.
I mean, how can you be that incompetent when you made 7 other fucking transfers? Right. They better damn well know what they're doing by the 9th one.
Excellent point. Excellent point.
They did that shit on purpose. Guarantee it.
How do you do that? Why do you do that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't really get it, but I've never really understood that. Like, how you're talking about millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Like, people spend a ridiculous amount of time reviewing paperwork for like a $20,000 loan.
You could exactly.
You're trying to loan somebody like $5 million or something. Like, what the fuck?
You can't tell me you can't fix the paperwork and the time it takes to fly Ziyech to Paris. You could do it on that flight.
Well, it has to do with if it hits midnight. There's a time in the day. I don't know if it's midnight, but there's some time where if it isn't finalized by then, it becomes null. So I don't know what that time is, but why are you doing it the last, fucking 7 minutes before the deadline? Do it fucking half a day before the deadline.
They knew this was going to happen. Like, they had sent Ziyech over there. So they had time. That's my point. Like, they had time. I don't get how they could do that. So yeah, that was bullshit. That was a crazy story, and it's one of those.
I bet he's stoked to sit on the bench.
Yeah, now he's just gonna sit there in like 7 jackets and never take his warm-ups off. Like, there's no chance.
Never see the field.
He probably might not. He probably wouldn't even be there. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, depending on how that went. Yeah. Could be.
And then I didn't see this. You put a question in here. Did you know Aronson has a brother Paxton? No way.
I just heard about this. So I do not understand this, but he has a brother named Paxton Aronson, who was also 19 years old. Drink. And he actually moved, not this transfer window, but he moved back in the last transfer window. I think it was November or something, or
he's
at the
19?
end of last year, basically.
What position does he play?
Yeah. Let me pull him up. Paxton Aronson. Yeah, this guy, he went from...
he's at Frankfurt right now?
So Frankfurt signed him to start the year. Yeah, he moved in November from Philadelphia Union. So he plays attacking midfield. He's kind of like his brother, kind of the same build, same. I don't know about exact style, but same position.
Does he run kind of hunched over?
I haven't seen him play, but what's weird to me, and maybe you can explain this to me. So he's 19 years old, born in August 26, 2003. His brother. Okay, sorry. I misread the birthdays. He's 3 years older. I thought they were the same age, so I got all confused. I was like, how the fuck are they the same age, but they're not twins? Anyway, yeah. Brendan's 22, so that's okay. My bad. But so he's 3 years younger than Brendan, who's only 22. He's 19 years old, already signed to a pretty big name in the German league. Yeah, so definitely on a good trajectory.
That's awesome
for USA soccer.
That's good news. And
yeah.
You named a few more Americans. Sticking on the American train real quick before we close out transfers. So we now have 3 Americans that will be starting on a Premier League team together. 3 of my favorite Americans also. McKinney, Adams, and Aronson.
They're probably the
with an
best.
American coach.
Well, minus Reina.
All I'm saying is, if this doesn't work, or maybe, I don't know, if Jesse Marsch gets fired, he is just a shoo-in for the American coach. Am I right?
Gotta be.
But if they do really well, and he keeps that job, that American job is going to be filled, and I'm going to be bummed out.
I know. Yeah.
So
I want him to do well. I want him
to do well too. I'll take that, and we can get hopefully a good coach going forward.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, the World Cup's 3 years away. It's not 4.
Yeah, it's already 2023.
Yeah.
That's
because
crazy,
of the weird schedule they did. It's a quicker
6 months
window.
late. Yeah.
So we got to get
rolling. That means qualifying will start. Qualifying basically starts in a year from now.
Yeah. So you need a coach.
So it starts 2 years ahead of time, right? So
yeah. They can't wait
that's
that
wild.
long.
Yeah.
So we'll see. All right. Let us segue. Premier League starts up again this weekend, so we are going to do our picks. We do our weekly picks.
Show me the money.
And I'm going to pull mine up. A lot of good games this week. I got to say, I'm excited to watch. So, this one was probably the toughest game for me, is the Friday game. Chelsea is at home to Fulham. Who knows what lineup Chelsea's going to throw out there? All I know is that Havertz will play and Mount will play. That's all I know. And no goals will come from them. But they haven't looked good, but they have all these new guys. Like, who knows how they're going to show up? Fulham, on the other hand, is a good team. They know who they are. But they're on the road. Like, this is tough. I went back and forth. I ended up just going with a 2-2 draw because I couldn't think of anything better. Help me out.
Yeah. I went 2-1 with Chelsea. The betting public does not agree with you. They have Fulham at a plus 420 on the road to win, with Chelsea at a minus 155. So pretty big discrepancy there.
What's the draw? Chelsea. What's the draw? Like plus 200?
Plus 300.
Yeah. See,
so,
I would.
Yeah. So the betting public obviously maybe pretty skewed and biased towards Chelsea in general being a big team. But even without that, there's still a pretty big, we talk about a lot, but kind of when teams tend to be even, the home and away really starts to matter, right?
Is João Felix back for this one? Do we know?
I don't know.
I think he had a 3-game suspension.
He got a 3-game suspension for that?
I think that's what a red card gets you.
I thought it was 1. You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Pretty sure. I just think
insane.
when these two teams play, there's nothing that wouldn't surprise me as far as the scoreline goes. Like if Chelsea came out with all these new dudes, played some different lineup, and they win 3-0, it wouldn't surprise me. If Fulham came out there and won 3-0, it wouldn't surprise me either. There's just like so much variation in what can happen with these two teams that...
Dude, you're right. A 3-game ban? That's fucking wild.
Yeah. Don't get a red card.
Dude, fucking, who was that NBA player that punched the other dude? Got like 1 game.
That's better.
Are you
yeah,
fucking
that's better.
Kidding me?
Yeah, I don't know what that rule's all about. That punishment.
Speaking of, did you see Donovan Mitchell fight fucking Dylan Brooks' bitch ass tonight?
No, did he really?
Fuck Dylan Brooks, dude. So Dylan Brooks like gets fouled, kind of falls over, and then just like swings his arm back and punches Donovan Mitchell right in the nuts, and Mitchell got fucking pissed.
Dude, no way.
Just chucked the ball at him and then like squared up with him and started trying to fucking kill him. I was so
Hell
stoked.
yeah. Dude, does anyone like Dylan Brooks? I don't even.
Fuck that guy.
Dylan Brooks doesn't even like Dylan Brooks.
Dude. Oh my god, you gotta watch it. It was fucking hilarious. Because Donovan Mitchell, like, you know, he's not like a pussy, but like, he usually just kind of just like brushes everything off, you know? I feel
yeah, he's like a quiet professional.
Yeah. He fucking snapped on him. I fucking loved it.
Dude, that's amazing. I'm pulling it up right now.
He's like, fuck you. But he like just swung his arm at him right in the nuts, and he's so mad.
We're all about the sun.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I'll pull that up in a minute.
Yeah, but João Felix out 3 games. So,
yeah.
Damn, I didn't realize that. I just assumed it was a single game.
Yeah, I am very curious how
so this is the rule. I never knew this. So a 2 yellow card, red card is a 1-game ban. A red card for dissent is a 2-match ban.
Oh.
And then a red card for violent conduct is a 3-game ban. I never actually knew that was a rule breakdown there. Now you know. Oh
my gosh, I just watched the video. You described it perfectly, but seeing it is so much better. He did like roll over and try to hit him in the nuts.
Yeah.
And he just hucked the ball out. It was like, oh my god, so good. So good.
So mad.
Oh my god. All right, I'm going to put a link to that in the description so people can watch that because oh man, that is fantastic.
There's never been an NBA player that more needs to get punched in the face than that fucking guy.
Check it out below. Oh man. Oh, that's so great. Good. All right, yeah. And then I the fact that it's Dylan Brooks makes it so much better.
Oh, it's great, yeah. And so and then the refs reviewed it, right, and they came back to do like the announcement, and so they gave Dylan Brooks a fucking flagrant 2 for that punch, like punching him in the nuts. So basically they're like, that's a flagrant 2, you're ejected. But then they ejected Mitchell because they threw the ball at him. Not for like any of the other shit, not for like practically punching him, but because he threw the ball, they had to eject him basically. Because I think they wanted to not try to get him in trouble, but like because he threw the ball, it was like violent conduct or something. I don't know.
Dude, if a grown man hits you in the nuts, you're allowed to punch him. Like,
yeah, right.
I think this is established in society. People know this. Like, it's just one of those things you don't do.
It was great, man.
Of course, it was Dylan Brooks. Okay. What is a Dylan Brooks EPL comp, or maybe just soccer comp? Can you think of anybody?
It's like fucking. What was that fucking guy that would always get red cards? On like QPR. Who was that? Joey Barton. Fucking Joey Barton.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that comp.
I'm trying to think of a current player though, but yeah, he's like, it's like
Who was the dude on Tottenham that was a coach this year?
Yeah, Romero.
No. He was a coach. Scott Parker.
Oh yeah, Scott Parker.
He played that.
Yeah,
way.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's like those guys that like they don't quite have the skill level like Dylan Brooks. Like you're not that good. Like you're gonna have to be in the NBA, but you're not that good. And you just like take it out on everybody fucking else around you that you can't be like the best.
But yeah, that's the thing. The one thing that's a difference that's not really the Scott Parker comp is he's not that good, but he thinks he's like the best player on the court. And you're like,
true. Yeah, the other guys are like, I know I'm not.
And then on top of that, he acts like a douchebag, and it's like, dude.
Oh God, that guy. I already hated him, and then when all that shit happened last year, where he hurt GP2, I can never let it go, man. Fucking guy.
Yeah, he's rough. All right, good NBA sidebar.
Segue.
All right, let's get back to Saturday's games.
Yeah.
So shithouse Everton is hosting Arsenal, and Arsenal's gonna stomp them. Absolutely stomp them.
Plus 625 at home.
I put a 3-0 Arsenal win, and those fans in the stands at Everton are going to be rioting. Like they already have had signs and stuff. They're going to be very unhappy. I almost want to watch just see the car.
I know. I want to watch. So I've told you this story before about when the last time I went to a Premier League game. I went to a West Ham game when they were not as bad as Everton, but very close. You know, teetering on the edge, potentially going down. Everyone was pissed at the owner, and it was fucking amazing to be at this game. Like I think there were 3 different times fans ran on the field. One of them got like tackled by the players. They stole the corner flag and like stabbed it in the middle of the field. They started throwing shit at the owner's booth. So all of just epic off the field and on the field action. I gotta watch this game. I want to see what the fans do because they're gonna go nuts.
The things that European fans can get away with, American fans just can't get away with. And I'm not saying our way is better. I kind of wish it was the other way. Because I kind of wish that people would be able to ride a little bit.
Yeah, that's fun. Show the passion, man.
Exactly.
I want to see it. But but it'll be a very interesting game to see what happens if Everton is destroyed like they do. I went with a 3-1.
3-1.
I think they get a consolation goal. Yeah.
All right. Next up, Villa hosting Leicester. This was a tough one for me as well, so I went with a 1-1 draw.
I think, let's see. Yeah, I went 2-2 draw on this one.
It was a tough one. It's a tough one to pick.
Yeah.
Brentford at home. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Aston Villa at even odds, Leicester at plus 270, the draw at plus 260. So not the best odds on the draw, actually. So,
it's tough to bet it.
That's a tough betting game. I don't know.
You know, I might change mine to Leicester just to, I feel like if somebody does win, it's going to be Leicester.
If Madison's back full health, I mean,
he's playing.
Got a shot.
He's playing.
Yeah.
I'm switching. Going 1-0. Leicester wins. All right, next up, Brentford is at home against Southampton. I went 2-0 Brentford.
I went 2-1.
I wonder if those 2 transfers are going to play for Southampton. I want to check that out.
I think they got it. At least sub in. They're going to have to show their faces, I think. So.
Yeah, for that much money, they're playing.
Yeah, Brentford at home, that was a tough out, man. So I see them still winning no matter what you bring to the table.
Yeah, I like that Brentford team. Okay, Brighton at home for Bournemouth. What'd you go with?
I went Brighton 2, Bournemouth 1.
Similar. I went 2-0. Brighton just keeps on doing it.
Yeah.
I'm really not going to bet against them unless they're playing a top team.
It's really hard to, man. They're just one of those teams. They put it together. Whoever's out on the field, whoever's coaching, They just do it. Whoever they lose and sell to another club for millions of dollars, they just keep trucking.
How does that happen? What do you credit that to?
I think it's got a lot to say about the club and like the whole structure behind it, right? So I think like how the club treats the players, how they recruit their players, right? How they scout out players, who they bring into the club. A certain type of player, type of mentality. I think the style they play too is very. It's very sort of like I think encouraging and positive. Like I think it gets the best out of a lot of these guys that would maybe be sort of middling, mid-tier players, but it really sort of encourages and motivates everyone to be a part of the play, and they play with just this like confidence that they can play against anybody. Like I haven't seen a game this season where they thought they looked outmatched, right, or they thought they would lose. Like I just haven't seen that.
Yeah, they've lost games, but they've always been a competitor. Yeah. All right, cool. Manchester United is at home for Crystal Palace.
2-0.
I always want to pick Crystal Palace every time I see them.
I know you.
But they also haven't been playing well. So I think Man United's getting stronger and stronger. I really want to see Sabitzer out there. He might jump right into it with Eriksen out. If they go McTominay, I'm going to be really bummed out. But
McTominay and Fred, dude, come on.
I think they run it on this one, and they win 3-0 at home.
Yeah, so I went 2-0. So if you remember the last game, Man U was pretty much dominating the game. They were up 1-0, missed several opportunities. And then I think it was at the 89th minute or something, Crystal Palace scored a free kick to tie the game up. I think this time it's just they're going to know what happened last game. They're going to come out. We cannot let this happen again. Yeah. They're going to come out with that intention to just put it away early. So I think it's going to be a blowout. I think just domination for Man U at home, coming off of that last game where they felt like they should have won and it got stolen away. It's just going to be no mercy.
And we forgot to mention, Zaha is questionable. I don't think he's going to play.
Oh, true. So, yeah, I think it was like a 50% chance he's playing.
Yeah, so take away their best player. Yeah, they're gonna have trouble. Okay, Wolves at home for Liverpool. Liverpool hasn't been playing great, but they are substantially better than Wolves. So I think Wolves gets at least one because Liverpool just can't defend, and Liverpool's offense is too much, so they win 3-1.
I did the same thing. I went 3-1 with Liverpool. I'm looking at the betting lines right now, and this is insane. Liverpool is basically practically even money to win, and Wolves is only at plus 290.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, this matchup a year ago would have been like one of those games where it's like plus 800 or plus 1,000, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Even at home. Like, this is crazy seeing these lines now. That's how much faith people have lost in Liverpool. So
they've been
I would
bad.
Put money on
they
Liverpool.
Haven't looked good.
That's a bet I would take. That's basically even money for Liverpool to win.
Well, let's take that. Let's write that one down. Because I get it. They have not been playing well, but they have to be able to beat Wolves, in my opinion.
Yeah, they have to. There's no excuse for that if they don't.
All right. Couple more games left. The last Saturday game was Newcastle at home for West Ham. I went Newcastle 2-0.
I went Newcastle 2, West Ham 1.
Okay, similar. We've really been right on all these. I don't think we've been different. Sunday's game.
Talk about soccer for hours.
I think it'll get interesting here. Sunday, 2 great games. Nottingham Forest at home for Leeds, and then Tottenham at home for Man City. The Forest Leeds one, I went 3-2 Leeds. I think that one's going to be wild and fun.
I went 3-1 Leeds. Same thinking.
You think the same thing. Dude, that game could get wild. And
I know. I think it'll be a great game.
I'm here for it.
I feel like every game Leeds plays is a great game.
I know. They're just so all over the place.
That's great.
Okay, and then this is the powerhouse one. Tottenham at home for Man City. I always seem to bet Tottenham, at least first half of the year. Lately, I've been just off of Tottenham. So I went Man City 2-1. What'd you do?
I hope for this one, like you were doing for the last game, that it just gets wild. I went 3-2 Man City.
Okay. Similar, though. Yeah, just higher scoring.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Okay, and then the makeup game on Wednesday is Man United at Leeds. Which, I gotta say, kind of unfair for Leeds. They have one less day of rest and preparation for that match.
It's actually on the road. It's at Man United.
Yeah, so they have to play on Sunday and then go to United. United gets an extra day. I feel like that's a brutal schedule.
Yeah, what is that? That's back-to-back road games? Yeah, road to Nottingham, road to Man U. Yeah, good luck.
That's a brutal schedule. So I definitely don't think Leeds are going to win this game. I gave them a pity goal because I like Leeds.
Yeah, me too.
So I did 2-1 Man U.
I did 3-1. We're doing the same shit, man.
Oh, man, we talk to each other too much. Okay, what'd you do for your 2 times? What are you most confident in?
I went with that Newcastle-West Ham game. Newcastle's just been so goddamn consistent.
Dude, I did the same.
Oh my god.
No way you picked that one. That's ridiculous.
What the hell, dude?
Dude, no way. I was like, no way he picked this one. I actually surprised myself that I picked that one. But yeah, I feel the same way. Look, we're done. It's over. Those are all the games.
Reading each other's minds. Oh, I love it.
Oh, man.
All right. So, what or any of those games that stick out to you that you feel really confident in? So we like the Liverpool at basically even money.
Well, we like the Newcastle as well. Clearly,
we like Newcastle to win.
What are the odds on that?
Minus
-200.
Newcastle is at minus 160. Not terrible.
Not terrible. We're confident in that one. Let's try that one.
Yeah. Is there any more that stick out? We really thought Arsenal's just going to destroy Everton. For being on the road, it does help the odds a bit. It's at minus 245 to win.
I think also we just talked about the Manchester United with Leeds with that rough schedule.
Oh, yeah.
They're minus 225 to win.
Maybe we do a parlay there. We do the Man U to win against Leeds and the Arsenal to win against Everton because they're both in the minus 200s.
Yeah, that's great. I'm all for that.
Parlay.
Would that get us back to like even odds, you think?
Let me plug it in real quick. So we got Arsenal to win and then Man U to beat Leeds. Yeah, that gets you back to plus 103, so even odds.
Yeah, I like it. Let's do that one.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have better luck than the previous week when we were over.
That one hurt.
It's all right. We got to dust it off. We'll do better this week.
All
right. Well, that's all we had on the docket. But excited to watch the games this weekend.
Yeah, man. Leagues. I'm really excited it's back. Maybe
this is a big weekend for them too because there's
what
no
do we got
NFL.
on Sunday? Maybe we watch a game on Sunday. Spurs Man City.
Let's watch the Leeds game. Leeds
that might be pretty early though. Yeah, but what time are these games at?
6 a.m. for the Leeds and then 8:30 for Man City.
Yeah, let's watch the Man City game.
Yeah, I'll be up at 6, but you won't.
Go on now.
I know.
Let's think this one through.
Having a kid, you just wake up at 6. You don't have a choice. You're up.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, let's do that. So Sunday, I'll talk to you Sunday.
All right, yeah, I'll get those bets down, and hopefully we turn things around this week.
Yo, we got this. We got this. All right.
We're on a winning streak now. We can do it.
Later, everyone.